Hi, welcome to Living and Learning. In this episode, we're going to talk about something really fun, at least for most people. We're going to talk about how to get the most out of a college visit. Now, this may surprise you, but this is where I would start. Don't even go on the visit. Don't go anywhere. Stay home. Keep yourself locked to your chair. And the reason why is because before you start spending time, money, and effort on going on a college tour or any visit to a college, you need to do a little bit of thinking first about what you're looking for and what you hope to get out of the college experience, right? Now, a lot of the things that I'm going to say to you here are really going to relate to where you are in the college admissions process. Right? If you're a senior, and you know in your senior year, you're going to be so busy with the application process that it's like taking another class. So if you're playing a sport, if you're in a production, if you're playing in an orchestra, and you're doing college admissions, and you're taking your SATs or your ACTs over again, or you're taking subject tests, and you're also trying to make visits or do auditions, you have a very, very busy year. So my best advice to you is to start early. And by starting early, I even mean in freshman year, starting to go on college tours. If you start when you're a freshman, it's true. What you look for and what you're thinking about as a freshman in high school and what you might want when you're a senior, it could be different, but you still will save yourself so much time, money, and effort that ultimately could be helping to pay for your tuition for college, right? Than spending it on the tour, which can cost thousands. Trust me, I know parents and families who, through the whole college tour process alone, spent close to $20,000, $25,000 just over those years of taking the whole family or just the student with one or more parents to various cities to look at colleges and stay at hotels and pay for airfares. It's easy to eat up that much money. That, let's face it, you'd probably rather have it in your own college budget, right? So, start early. One of the ways to do that is to, if you have an older sibling or somebody else in your family, or somebody to visit, or your mom or dad are going on a business trip, if you're going to that city, you know you're going to college anyway, even if you're starting out at a community college, make a point to go visit some of the campuses in that city. Check it out. See what you think about it. You don't even necessarily at that point have to go on the official tour, although in general it is a good idea to go on the official tour, register with that college, because then they'll know, and believe me, they do keep track of this, they'll know that you cared enough to show up on that campus. And that opens up an opportunity of communication for you to continue to communicate with them, but also for them to communicate with you, because then you're going to be on their mailing list, right? So you can be in touch with that campus if that's something that you might want to do or a place you might want to go to. The other point about visiting campuses early on before you get to your senior year is that it can be incredibly inspiring. Maybe you're, kind of relaxed about the whole college process. Maybe you saw what your brother or sister went through and you're saying, no, I'm not doing this until I absolutely have to do this, right? And then all of a sudden you go to a campus and you say, wow, this is amazing. I want to go to this school. Now the good thing about that is if you're a sophomore and you're thinking in those terms, like I went to UC Santa Barbara and people there are surfing in between classes. That's the kind of place I want to go to because it would be fun. Or maybe it's a performing arts campus, whatever the situation might be, according to your preference, right? That gives you some sense of inspiration of how you're going to have to work hard to potentially get on that campus. So I strongly recommend it for parents and for students to think about starting the process early and doing it in a strategic, cost-effective way. Now, what if you don't have a lot of money and you're living in, let's say, an urban environment, and there are no colleges perhaps even near you or in the town that you live in? Well, then it might make sense to take a subway ride or a bus ride to some nearby campuses, even if you're thinking that I want to get out of Dodge. I don't want to be any near where I'm living right now. It's okay. It can still give you an idea of what those other campuses might be like. Do I want urban? Do I want suburban? Do I want to be in a city? There are a lot of kids that I talk to that will say, I want to be in a big sports school. I want to be in a school that's Division I because I really want to go to the football games. But then when you talk to them about where they want to go academically or what kind of environment they like, they'll say that they want to be on a small campus. They want to be able to know everyone. Well, chances are those are two different things. And that's the main reason why you need to go to those campuses. You need to say, do I want to be on a campus where there's an undergraduate institution, research going on, and a graduate school, and there's maybe 30,000 plus students? It's like being in a city in and of itself. Or do I prefer one of the smaller liberal arts colleges with maybe max 2,000, 3,000 students? Is that more of the experience that I'm looking for, or something in between? So think about where you are, think about what you might prefer, and the best way that you learn. Now, I haven't talked at all about academics. Clearly, you don't want to do a college tour of all Ivy League schools if you're not the caliber of student that's very likely to get into an Ivy League school. So you do want to think about your grades and where you might fit in. But again, as I mentioned earlier, that can be an inspiration to you to work a little bit harder. At the same time, if you like the look or the campus feel of some of these older colleges, right? There are other smaller colleges. There's a college for everyone. And you can find and replicate that kind of environment that's going to be perfect for you. A college dean that I interviewed once, a long time ago, said to me, and I think he was so right on with this statement, that whatever you learn in college, only half of it is what you're going to get in the classroom. The other half of it is going to come from the environment that you're in, from the teachers that are meeting outside of class with you or doing research with you, from the activities on campus, from the city that you're next to, from the kinds of things you get involved in, from maybe even a religious experience or organization that you might belong to. There are so many things about the college experience, whether you're living there or even a commuter, that you're going to gain from just that environment. So that's where it's very important to get to the campus, but do your research first before you spend the money. Okay, so how do you do that? You go to the website. Almost every single website has some sort of a video tour. Now, yes, they're not going to show you the back end of the building that looks a little bit decrepit, where the landscaping is a little raunchy looking. They're going to show you the front with the big white columns. So that's okay. But keep that in mind as you look at campuses. If you, for example, live in the Boston area and you know you don't want to be on an urban campus, or you feel like you don't, but Boston University is right there, well, go and visit BU. See what it's like. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe the buzz on campus will be really exciting to you. On the other hand, if you feel like you can't throw a frisbee around here and that's going to be a problem for you, then you might want to go up north and look at some of the other schools in Maine or Vermont, right? Go to Bates perhaps, or Middlebury, to a smaller school. I'm just throwing out names here and ideas. But there are hundreds of colleges that you could consider. Go on the campus, get a feel for the community, go on the tour, sign up for it, and above all, do your own, what I'm going to call the underground tour. All right? This is where you go off on your own, you have an iPhone, take some videos, take some pictures, take notes, talk to other students that are there, sit in, if you can, on some classes that you might be interested in. If you're an artist, see if you can get into the art studio and perhaps even talk with an art professor or a student there. If you're interested in film, make sure when you go to the website that if they say film, that it's not just film studies. If you in fact want to actually make film and be a documentarian, there's a big difference. If it's a film study school, you're going to be learning, you're not going to be doing hands-on work. So that's an important distinction. You don't want to waste time going to visit a school that's not going to give you what you're looking for. So there again, take your time to do the research, talk to your family, your siblings, your cousins, your guidance counselor, other students from your school, your high school, where you've had a shared experience. They know what your high school experience is like. They may even know you. When they go on, if they're upperclassmen, to visit other colleges, you can ask them about that. So before you spend any money, do your research. Make a list of the schools you want to go to. And now, in many ways, because of technology, it couldn't be easier to arrange a tour. You have Google Maps or MapQuest, where you can just put in the college name, figure out a region, and look at where all these campuses are and say, gee, can I do this in a weekend? Is my dad possibly going on a business trip where we could piggyback on this and maybe I take a day off and visit some of the campuses? Use the technology that you have. Go to the website, watch the tour, send an email to the college admissions person who's responsible for the territory, or I should say the high school area that you belong to, that you're in. They would be more than happy to talk to you about the campus, about the dorms, the little things that are not listed on the website. And then check out the website. Look at the section called Student Life. How many clubs do you see there? Is there something that you might be interested in joining? If your faith is an important thing to you, is it likely that on that campus there might be other students that share your same commitment to your faith and to your religion? Check that out. That's important. So your art, your interest in community service, your interest in certain kinds of sports, whether it's continuing on something that you already do or trying something completely different. So much can be gained just by going to the website, emailing, talking to the people that you already know, and saving some money, time, and effort. And again, I cannot stress more the point of doing this earlier rather than waiting till your senior year. Yes, it's true. You can apply to the school and then visit later. But we also know, too, that if you're applying to a school, let's say early decision, where you're making a firm commitment to attend that school, you're going to be hard-pressed to make the point that you really know what you're in for if you haven't been to visit that school. So, when you go to the website, one of the things you definitely want to check is the menu item. It might be called something else, but on most sites, it's called Student Life. And in that menu item, you'll see activities, organizations, clubs, and things like that, sports, that you can get involved in. Take a very good look at that list and make sure that the kinds of things that you're either already engaged in and believe that you want to continue in college, or new things that you want to get involved in, are there. And I would also say that if your faith is something that's important to you, that you want to continue to go to the temple or go to church when you're on campus, and you want to perhaps share with a community of like-minded students, make sure that that kind of atmosphere will be present at that campus. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, right? So you do want to make sure that that will be the case. And if you're not sure, if it's not evident from what you're seeing, that's an opportunity to call the college admissions counselor or send them an email and ask questions about that. The other thing that you could do is look at the campus newsletter. Look at the section on the website that's probably called news or events, right? And see, what is the buzz on campus, right? What are they really talking about? Is it all about parties? Is it mostly about sports? Is it about community service and commitment? Or is it about all those things? Maybe that is what you're interested in. But in any case, you want to make sure that it is a right fit for you, right? Likewise, when you do get to the campus, check out the bulletin boards. Go to the main bulletin boards at the Student Center and see what people are posting. Does this seem like the kind of place where you would fit in? So again, I'm going to stress this point. Don't wait until just your senior semester of fall to go and visit schools. Try to get that done. At least start in your junior year if you can, if not earlier. Right? You will probably go and visit some schools in your senior year, particularly if you want to go for interviews, but don't let it all go till then. You'll be too busy to really appreciate it and take stock of what you're learning. So again, make the most of your college tours. Be strategic about the places that you go to. Use things like Google Maps and your GPS to figure out exactly what that tour should look like in the most effective and time-efficient way. And I know that you're going to make the right choice. If in the end you get to a campus and you're still not really sure if this is the right place for you, stand on campus, do a 360, and say to yourself, could I call this home for 4 years? If you get that warm, fuzzy feeling, that comfort level, like, yeah, I think I could be here for 4 years, or maybe 5 in some cases, then that's probably one of the top ones on your list. Again, good luck with your tour and have fun with it. We'll see you next time.